It all started in our 4th grade music class when Mr. Edmonds looked at Hayden, who is no more and no less special than any other kid, and said, "Hayden, you're going to grow up to be one of the greatest musicians." He was one of the best musicians I came to know. His playing outshined all other young musicians of our time. Everywhere he went, a crowd followed. It was understandable, though. How could you not like him? It was Hayden, and everyone loved Hayden. He had won the hearts of so many people, including mine. His charisma, his music, and his winning smile pushed him to the top. He even convinced me to believe in music and a lot of other things like love and hope and happiness, but he had one tremendous flaw. And so I guess this is where the story begins. The side I knew of Hayden wasn't the side that you're going to see. Hayden was the best person. At least to me he was. He was able to make me smile on my worst days, and there was just something about him that lit up any room. He was selfless and put everyone else before himself. If there was anything he loved, it was his music and being able to share it with the world. He once told me that performing gave him a satisfaction immensely unparalleled to any other feeling in the world, and that giving back to the audience was the one thing he could spend the rest of his life doing. But that was before everything happened, before he left. Before him, I had a hard time believing in the good things of life, like all that lovey-dovey stuff everyone wishes for. And I didn't really know how to be happy, but because of him, and forgive me if I'm starting to sound gushy, but he changed me, just like fame changed him. Hayden was never all there. I could never quite put a finger on what it was, but it was almost as if he were unhappy. As time went on, I began to notice that he just wasn't the same. Sometimes I just wished he would turn up on my doorstep and I'd run into his arms all over again, but I'm better now. Baby steps, right? It was hard watching Hayden change. Music didn't make him happy like it used to, which was hard for me to figure out because he had everything I had wanted. He had fame and power and money. I guess those 3 things never seemed to satisfy him. Months would pass and his fame escalated to an all-time high, but he didn't want it anymore. What he thought was fulfilling his dream was beginning to destroy him. The media had watched his every move. He was under constant scrutiny, and this caused him to stop loving to perform. I tried to reach out to him, but talking to him was like trying to bring back a loved one from death. It was impossible. He found it hard to trust anyone, but on the days he would agree to talk to me, he would tell me stories of how much he began to hate the fame he was given. He desperately wanted to be happy, but the people in media wouldn't let him. His thoughts would take over him and he'd lose himself in his own world. He told me he had voices in his head that told him to end it, but just as always, he'd keep to himself. He didn't know who to listen to or which world was even real anymore. He had gone crazy. He was lost, and I just wish I could have helped him find his way back. Hayden was such an amazing person. I wish one day I could be half the person he was, but he had one tremendous flaw. He didn't have the strength to stay. He wasn't as strong as we all hoped he would be, but I guess that's what fame does to you. He so easily let it overtake his sanity, along with his life. Hayden, if you can hear me right now, I miss you.